All right, everybody. Thank you for coming to our call tonight. We are going to be talking about inviting, and I'm super excited to talk about this because I know it's a favorite subject of everybody's. So I have some stuff to share, but first off, we are going to start off with Gina. She is a Ruby coach, brand new Ruby, and probably going to hit diamond here any day now.
I know.
So she is going to share what she has been doing to get all of these. I mean, this girl is on fire. So she's going to share some of her hot tips with you, and then after that, I will have Melissa share a little bit, Melissa Conrad, on what she's been doing too, because we've got actually a lot of people doing awesome right now, which is exciting. But these are two newer coaches, and so I did want to have them share what's been working for them. So go ahead, Gina.
Okay. So my business has gotten bigger, and I've reached more people by starting my fitness page, my like page, and boosting that with ads. So what I've been doing lately is whoever likes or comments on my ad or my post in my fitness page, I send them a personal message just saying, hey, thank you for supporting my page and my journey. And then I just wait for them to respond, and then I invite them and share more about what I'm doing. And I've been getting a lot of good response with that. And it's gotten me out of my comfort zone of just personal friends and family. And I'm reaching more people who I don't even know. First, I usually will friend them on Facebook, and I kind of check out what their personal page is about. And I like to see kind of like a little bit of who they are. Do they post positive things? Is it somebody that would click with me? Do we have similar interests, things like that? And then I invite them in to what I'm doing. And that's been going well. I've sold a few challenge packs that way and getting people started as customers. And then I continue just going through my own friends list on Facebook, and I have a lot of friends that I don't really personally know, but they're friends of friends. So I've been starting conversations with them, and I just kind of go through my friends list each day looking for new prospects, I guess. And that's just kind of been working for me. So getting a lot of response through my like page more than I am my personal page now. So that's been the biggest help, has been paying for some ads, and it's been paying off.
Can I ask you a question, Gina?
Sure.
It's Amanda.
Hi.
Hi. I'm loving watching your journey, by the way. I remember when you're just brand new in the challenge group, so it's very fun for me because it makes me feel grown up. I was wondering, are you boosting or designing ads with the ad editor or boosting, like promoting a post versus boosting a post are different?
I'm just boosting right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know that I just listened to a call with Jessie Vandenberg the other day, and she said always promote a post, don't boost a post, because a boost can't be to a targeted market, but it can in mine. I can choose a targeted market.
Too, and I choose an age range, and
So I do too. So I was just curious if you were doing the same thing, because I thought that information might have been a little outdated. And I just wanted to check. Also, I know that there's different versions of an ad editor out there that each, sometimes coaches don't have the same one. So sometimes our options are different, or if you want to show someone what you're doing, it's like not laid out the same.
Yeah.
So that's what I was just checking that you really meant boost. And because that's what I've been doing too. And, or at least last month I didn't this month, but.
So I want to know, they're reaching a lot of people. Like if I don't boost a post, like 87 people see it. Versus like up to 3,000 see it or something, if I boost it. So, yeah.
I like the idea that you're following up too behind the scenes with them and friending them. I think that's really smart.
It's key, I think, to let them know that you appreciate their support And then they're like, oh yeah, thank you for your tips. And then you start a conversation that way, and it leads to them wanting to be a part of what we do.
I think also with that like page, it's makes you real.
Yeah.
You know, because you could just be anybody or any business.
Yeah.
With with your personal page, people know you're real because they've met you usually, but with the like page, it's not. But I'll put myself back on mute. Thank you for answering my question.
Yes.
Thank you, Gina, so much for sharing. Do you have anything else you want to add?
You had asked me about my daily to-dos.
Yes.
Do you want me to talk about that?
Yes.
Okay. So I work full-time, so I try to fit in my business stuff in little segments throughout the day. So what I do first thing in the morning is I try to make a motivational post, or I'll do it the night before I go to bed. And then I follow up in the morning with who's liked it or commented on that. I, drink my Shakeology, do my workout, I post about it. And what I have found that I get a better response on weekends. I don't know if anybody else feels that way, but when I invite, I seem to get more of a response when I do it like Saturday mornings. And personal development, I do that while I'm getting ready for work. So in the beginning, it was really overwhelming. I was like, how do I do all this? But I just try to now just break it up into little segments throughout the day. And that seems to really help. And then on the weekends, I give it a little more time, like a couple hours on Saturday and a couple hours on Sunday, follow-ups and whatnot.
And how many hours or how much time do you think you're putting in to the business, like on your, because I do know you work a lot. So, and
yes.
And you're a mom. And,
yes.
So you're busy. So how many, when you're doing the segments, how long are the segments?
Oh, probably half hour.
Okay.
I bet. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. And that's
in the morning, I spend about an hour in the morning and probably an hour at night, but not always that much every day, but pretty close to that.
Awesome. Yeah, because you're really consistent.
I'm kind of always looking.
That's great,
I'm kind of bad about that.
No, I think it's good. You're in growth mode right now, and I know you have some really big goals that you're you're working towards, and I think that, that's what's motivating you. And when you're in that high growth period, which most of you are in right now, you do have to do what you can to fit it in. And I love that you're scheduling these times in segments, because I think that's really important. Also, I heard a thing on, if you guys haven't checked out the Shailene podcast, she's done a couple on organizing your brain lately and being laser focused. And I would definitely recommend listening to those, because she was talking about how you can train your brain to have like these 45-minute like focus cycles, and then taking like 15-minute breaks and doing things like that, and what you can do to be super focused during your power hour or your short time. So if you guys haven't listened to those, I would definitely go back. There are, I believe, 3 of them. It's the last 3 podcasts she's done. They are phenomenal. And just to kind of give you guys an idea, I got totally called out on one of them because I was thinking that I was doing great by multitasking and doing lots of things at one time. And in reality, I wasn't. And so I've been putting her words into practice the last 3 days, and it has really helped. So thank you so much, Gina. I think that's awesome. And congratulations on hitting Ruby on Friday. And I am excited to see you hit Diamond.
I know, I'm so close.
You will hit it. You were doing so great. Awesome job. All right. Melissa, I am going to unmute you, my dear. Are you ready?
I am. How is everyone?
Good.
I'm good. I have a little girl in my lap. I'm single mom tonight, so hopefully she can hold it together for 10 minutes. Otherwise, I'll put her down. So I am a pretty new coach. I started, I signed on as a discount coach at the end of October, basically, and kind of really just hemmed and hawed about it for a little while for a lot of reasons. And about the beginning of January, I kind of decided this is something I wanted to pursue, and have kind of been going full bore since then with the help of Erica, who's my coach. So Tony asked me to talk about a couple things tonight. So the first one I'm going to talk about is a little bit about Evernote. There's been a lot of questions and comments on it, and I don't know if everyone is familiar with Evernote, but if you're not, it's a great tool. It's free, or the version I use is free. It's awesome because it will sync between your tablet, your phone, and your computer. And so I use it to organize my life, and part of that is all my Beachbody stuff. And so I've created different workbooks for everything between new coach prospects, or my to-do list, or all of my coaching web links and sites so that they're all ready to go. Training tips, all the product videos and all that stuff, I keep them in there so that I can grab the web links and share them quickly, because I also work full-time currently during the day, and I have obviously a little daughter, and I'm doing this evenings and weekends and in my snippets of time that I set aside. So it's really helpful in that regard. A couple little things about it too that you should just know is that you can tag. You can add tags to your workbook, so you can put keywords in there like this is for Shakeology or this is for coaches, and you can also set reminders on notebooks, which is very helpful. So I actually keep my Power of 3 stuff in Evernote. So I have a workbook that's just a running workbook or notebook of all of my Power of 3 stuff, and in there I have my coaching asks for the week, which I just started doing last week, and then my invites of people that I do for Facebook, which I have just this week realized that for me it's easier to friend request everybody on one day of the week, because that takes a little bit more time for me than going through and doing them a couple of different times in a day. So I kind of like to get them all done so that I've got them as accepted friends, and then I can kind of queue them up for people to talk to throughout the week, assuming that they accept the friends request. And for me, that just works better. So I reset the invites or the notebook for every day at the same time. So once I complete the task, I mark it as done, and I reset the reminder for the next day. And that's worked out really well for me. And I like it because it will remind me on my phone and when I'm at work, or when I'm at home on my tablet or whatever. So that's a really powerful tool. I think if you're not using it, you should definitely look into it. That kind of just touched on my daily to-do list too. I keep track of it in there, and only in the last couple of weeks I've really kind of branched out. I saw a post from somebody else about kind of branching out of your comfort zone. I didn't really want to reach out to a bunch of these high school people that I didn't know or weren't friends with in high school, because I thought that was really awkward for me. And I just kind of, in the last week or so, I've kind of gotten past that, and I've sent out a bunch of friend requests to people that have actually started following my posts and liking them, and just started reaching out to them or thanking them or doing the same to them. And I think that's going to be really helpful for me in the long run. And let's see. As far as inviting people to challenge groups, this week, today I started a challenge group on clean eating, which is the first one that I've started on my own. And so I'm hoping that as a result of this week, what I'm hoping to get out of that is an invite to a challenge group of my own that will be a follow-up, and kind of this is the kind of motivation and encouragement you can get, and if you're interested in pursuing a fitness program or something along those lines. And so this will be kind of my first opportunity to do that on my own. So that's my hope and plan for this week. So I don't know if that's at all helpful or not, but as far as organizing my day, I'm a lot like Gina. I take all of my photos in the morning of my workouts and my food and my breakfast and my lunch and everything that I pack, so I get them all out of the way. And then when I have time, I'll upload everything to PicCollage in a format and post them all one right after another. And that's worked for me, because I also am busy during the day and need to kind of get them all out of the way. And then I use about an hour at night to do follow-ups and emails to people, and then I spend much more time on the weekends doing different things. So I don't know if there's any questions or that was helpful.
That was awesome, Melissa. I really appreciate it. And I love that you have Evernote so dialed in. And she actually did some tips for people. And I'm going to, I can post them, or if you would like to share them in Team 360, Melissa, that would be great, because I think that will help a lot of people. My husband uses Evernote for everything, and it works really well for him. I am one of those people that uses a different type of system. We all find different systems that work for us. My husband has Evernote dialed in as well, and I think it's an awesome system. I just use a little bit different because my brain organizes things differently. So I'm a little bit of that crazy, outgoing, messy personality, if you haven't already gathered. So that just goes to show that this business can work for any type of personality. But if you could share that in Team 360,
I will.
I would be so grateful, because I know that that's a game changer for a lot of people. So thank you so much. So briefly, what I'm going to talk about the inviting process, and then what I am going to do is I will open it for questions that you have for me, for Gina, and for Melissa. So first of all, I want to make sure you guys, I'm just going to go over the invite process. Really what inviting is sharing with people. It's just sharing what you know is working for you and sharing how it's working for you. So a lot of times people are worried about being salesy. Well, usually if you're already worried about being salesy, then you probably are not being salesy. You probably have nothing to worry about. It's usually the people that don't worry about that we do, that are blasting their Facebook with, stock photos and things like that. And so, one second here. Can you guys hear me okay? Did I lose you? Sorry. One second here.
I can hear you now.
Okay, sorry.
That's right.
I'm in the beach. Sorry about that. Okay. So anyway, what I was saying is that share with your heart, share with your passion. Don't worry about being salesy. As long as you're inviting and you're showing and talking to people, and really talk to people, find out what their goals are, what they need from you, and then look at how you can add value. So when I am talking to someone who needs help with their fitness and nutrition and they're a busy mom, normally it's the 21-day fix that I know that's going to help them, because it's simple and easy nutrition and fitness. It breaks it down. It's 30 minutes of workouts. The meal planning is easy for the fix. I even offer them a bunch of meal plan options that I have designed and found. And it's easy. I know that's going to help them. So when I'm talking to somebody about the fix, I 100% believe in it. I believe in the product, and I know it's going to help them meet their goals if they're ready to make a change. So when you are talking to people, believe in your heart that this works. The other thing is, I know that it can be nerve-wracking. It's kind of like a roller coaster. You get on, it's exciting, but you kind of want to puke too. That's normal. It's just the way that it is, and it is exciting. And don't stay in that down drop too long. Go to the up drop, go to the hike. But you definitely want to invite people and help them meet their goals. So number one, find out what their goals are. Ask them. Ask questions. Keep your invites short. Don't send a whole long information with a bunch of links in it until they ask for that. Just say, hey, Sally, how are you doing? I, saw pictures of your kids on Facebook. What have you been up to? And then normally she'll reply back and say, oh, I've been doing this and this. And, I've been up, this is what I've been up to. And then she'll probably ask you what you've been up to. And you can say, well, actually, I'm, I am working my own business now, and I'm absolutely loving it. And then she'll say, what? You're working your own business? What are you doing? Open invitation right there. Or you can say, I'm running, I'm doing a new program. It's going really well. Be kind of vague, and then have them, ask you questions too. And keep it short. don't write back a novel. I'm a talker. You all know that. And I have, I really have to restrain myself half the time. But just, I try to keep it all short. If I'm doing an invite or I'm responding to a Facebook message, I make sure that it fits on the little window on my phone. It's no longer than that, because chances are they're going to be reading it on their phone. And when I get something back that is a mile long, I'm like, oh crap, I'm going to have to read this later. If I get a short little thing, those are the ones I respond to first. And I respond to them. Even if it's like, a few conversations, that's better than a novel, in my opinion. If I get someone on the phone, I keep the call under 10 minutes. I'm really respectful of their time. And it can be hard, but if I'm on there longer than 10 minutes, that means I'm probably giving them way too much information. And we don't want to do that either. So really, share what's working for you. Find out what will work for them. Be passionate. And, that leads me to another thing. Know your why. Why are you doing this? Why do you want to help people? Why are you coaching? I know that we talk about that all the time, but you guys, it's the foundation of our business. It's the foundation of what we are doing. That's why it is so important to know your why, dig deep, and that way when you're going out and you're wanting to help people, you have a strong reason and a passion as to why you're doing it. So make sure that you know that and you focus on that and remind yourself when you're struggling. The other thing is personal development. Always be doing personal development. If you are struggling with rejection, which I am a very outgoing personality, I am a very relational person, so obviously hate rejection. So rejection was hard for me, whereas I know other people it can be easier for. Now I can overcome it. I'm like, okay, it's not for you. It's totally fine. Where in the beginning, it would literally crush me and just make me feel sick when somebody told me no. But after personal development, that doesn't happen anymore. Some of my favorite books for that is, Go for No and Eat That Frog. Those were really good ones. I also, I could give you a ton, but just start with those. Go for No and Eat That Frog. Eat That Frog is by, I believe, Brian Tracy. And, you can get both those books on Amazon or on Audible. They're awesome and they will really help you. But dig into personal development. Also, if you go back to the podcast that we have for the National Wake Up Calls, you can look on there and see the ones that talk about objections. Listen to those if you're struggling with objections and no's, and just go through that. But dig into personal development if you do get crushed like I used to on inviting, because trust me, you can overcome it. I did. And once I did, amazing things have happened. I've asked people, invited people that I never before would have thought would say yes and have said yes, and I've seen lives change. So it is really, really important. Also remember, we are telling stories, we're not selling. So tell what's working and how it can help them. Don't try to sell. And our team is really good about this. I will be honest. I mean, I don't see a lot of issues with this. So, just always tell people what the benefit is. That's why I always say don't use stock photos on your Facebook page. I think those are horrible. Use, when you pop up a picture that's like Shakeology that the company uses, don't do that. Take a picture of you with your Shakeology and what you're drinking it. What has it done for you? Why are you drinking Shakeology? Well, for me, it's an easy breakfast. I have 3 kids. Getting out the door and actually being able to get something nutritious in my body is like an amazing thing for me in the mornings, because mornings are crazy at my house and nobody likes to get up early in my house. And so I need to make sure that, I get something in me, and Shakeology is awesome for me. My kids all drink it every morning too. Everyone in our house has Shakeology in the morning. Why? Because I believe that is the most nutritious thing I can feed my family first thing in the morning. And yes, I could spend, $600 making my own, but I don't have time. And so Shakeology is a great alternative for me. So I share that with people. I share my kids drinking it. I share me drinking it. I share different recipes. So do that. If you're doing your workout, why are you working out? Why are you getting up at 6:30 in the morning to do the 21-day fix? Or, like Shelly, and you get up at how much she get up at like 4:15 in the morning? Why does she get up that early? Well, because she has goals to meet, and she shares that with people. And because of that, that's why, people go to her to be coached. So that's what you need to be doing when you're inviting is, on your Facebook, sharing what's working for you and how it's adding value to your life. And then when you talk to people, you will be able to talk to them and, say, yeah, this is why I do this. This is what, how I can help you too. And it really does work, you guys. Just make sure that you are consistent with everything that you do. So I am going to go ahead and open up the call for questions. Again, I apologize that I had a little bit of an issue in the beginning with my daughter. And that's another good thing about working this business is, I know Melissa Conrad was like, I have my baby tonight. I'm like, you know what? Most of us are parents on here. And if they're not, they totally understand if your baby's crying. Of course, then it was my daughter that was throwing the fit. But it's another great reason to own your own business, you guys, because that doesn't fly in most companies, okay? So let me go ahead and open up for questions. I'm going to unmute all the phones because I don't know if you have questions. So let me unmute you. And if you don't want to talk, you need to remute your cell phones. All right. Christy has a question. I'm going to unmute you. Go ahead, Christy.
Hey, I'm still struggling a little bit with how to initialize coaching invitations versus customer invitations because I'm rocking at that. But it's people hear the coach and they think there's so much obligation. So I just don't know how to easy approach it.
Easy approach? Well, I can give you my approach, but what I do is I just talk to people. I look and I see, what have you been up to? What's working for you? What have you been doing? And I offer people the coaching opportunity. I say, this is how I've been able to make extra money for my family. When I first started, all I wanted to do was, earn a little extra money to help out our bottom line. And that's really what I lead with. I led with in the beginning. Now it's a little bit different because I am a full-time coach. But I would just honestly, if there's a need, just like with fitness, if they have a financial need or, maybe they are at home and they're looking for something else to do because they're, going kind of crazy with mom duties and just want something for them, then I offer it to them at that point too. Janine, I'm going to unmute you because you are almost at Diamond, and I know you've been signing coaches like a mad woman. So how are you sharing the business opportunity?
I thought you were going to say you're unmuting me because I have questions. Which
well, I know you have a question, but can you share?
Yes. So I feel like I've been really, really, I know I've been really lucky, but I worry a little bit that I've been really lucky. I have had, all of my coaches have come through Facebook. So I went off Facebook for about a month. And then when I decided to start coaching, I came back on and really just started posting about hey, I'm so excited about this. This is my new fitness journey. And I had just moved from Oregon to Arizona. So people knew that I was not able to do my Bikram studio anymore. So long story short, people just started responding. And just when I get nervous, and it has only been 3 weeks. I started on the 4th, I think. I'm looking at Misty's square for confirmation. So it's been gangbusters. I mean, it's awesome. And then I will turn to my husband at night and be like, I wonder if that's the last one. I'm going to have to launch into some other things. And I've got some ideas, and actually I have a question about one. But and then boom, I'll get an email from someone I didn't even expect to say, I'm going to do this. Tell me more about it. I will say I learned a valuable lesson yesterday when I was talking with a gal who kind of came out of the blue and wanted to do the 21-day fix. And I talked to her it went great in the beginning, and she responded with, this is all through Facebook. Perfect. I want to do the, not the 21-day fix, but the 21-day fix kickstart. So that should have been a clue to me that she's not too concerned about finances, since she went for the $205 package without even asking me about the products. Well, then I went ad nauseum about the opportunity to coach, because I wanted to see if she wanted to do a coach for a variety of reasons. One, I want to be a diamond, and two, I think she'd be good at it. And I think I scared her off, and it just got complicated, and I'm like, not so good. So to keep it simple, yeah, I'm going to remind myself of that next time. She's probably not gone, but it was a good lesson to learn. So Facebook, I do have a question about Facebook though. And one of my concerns at this phase, I need to start friending friends of friends of friends, et cetera, is the privacy factor. And like, I am wide open to my friends, my Facebook friends. But then I'm also pretty private about people seeing pictures of my kids and, you know, all that sort of stuff. Does anybody else have any concerns about that? Or do I, you know, make a new Facebook page for myself? And
well, so what my philosophy on that is that I have my personal Facebook. I would not do a separate Facebook account. I would do your personal Facebook as well as a like page. And you have to determine what you want on there. I know that for me, I was a little nervous about opening it up and making my page public, but I had kept hearing people say, you need to, you know, if you want to do this business, you're really going to need to open it up. And I did. And so I'm just careful about what I post. You can find more information on Google than you can on Facebook these days. And I will tell you, the only person I've had problems with is somebody that was already my Facebook friend that, you know, that I was friends with before I was even a coach, that, you know, was the one that was like, oh, I saw you were at this place and I'll come join you. Well, she's someone that I went to school with. And so I would have been friends with her anyways. And so it wasn't even Beachbody related. So you just really have to, you know, decide what you're posting. I mean, honestly, this is a good thing for everyone. And I'm going to open Misty up here in a little bit to talk about this too, but is that your Facebook is really your marketing now. And so it does take on a completely different, you know, completely different like value now. I mean, my Facebook, I mean, with the, you know, I post who I am and I'm very transparent with who I am. And I do have pictures of my children up there. But, you know, I don't check in when I'm with my kids at certain places. I don't write my address down or things like that, even though people can find it on Google. So you know, you just I would talk to your husband and see what you guys are comfortable with and then decide from there. The other thing you can do is you completely keep your Facebook private and open up a like page and drive all of your business traffic to your like page. You can do that too. It's really a personal preference. I'm going to unmute Misty Jackman really quick here because she, I know, has thoughts on this.
And can I ask, maybe Misty will know, do you know if you can, and this may be a Google question, can I say anything prior to last month is completely private and just, it's just the historical stuff?
Yeah, I don't think you can do that. I don't think you can actually set from time, but there is a happy medium, which is what I do. So, you know, and those on the leadership page know that I've kind of struggled with the same privacy issues because I do post a lot about my kids and I enjoy doing that. I also, personally, I have an issue with, I don't want to, exploit is a bad word, but I don't want to use them, if that makes sense. So I'm kind of cautious with what I post. However, what you can do is select the posts if they're private or public. So I actually have my Facebook set to just friends of friends. So technically it's private, meaning that Joe Schmo, who's not friends with me, can't just see my wall. However, I select what posts I want to be public. So you have that option. So I actually have all my posts set for public, but then if I am posting something about my kids or something, you know, that I don't really want the world to see, then I will select that to friends or friends of friends.
So you don't,
go ahead.
You don't friend everybody then. Like, for example, Gina, when you did your 3,000 push, do you friend everybody? Do you friend strangers?
No, I friend the ones that comment and seem more engaged. And then I quickly defriend them if it just seems kind of not right. And my Facebook page, everything is set to public, but I do edit privacy, once in a while if it's something I don't want, if it's about not everything about my daughter I want the world to see. So that's how I keep it. I just kind of
control. So you do have some control over it. You don't have to make everything public. And I do, like Gina, when somebody from the like page likes my post or likes my page, I'll go to see what I can see of them in my profile. And it is sort of one of those things where you're I guess we're sort of judging based on what they look like, but I can kind of assess, okay, if she's got a profile picture and it's got kids, it's probably going to be, I'm going to be able to relate to her somehow. If she, and it is a bit of a judgmental thing. There was people that have some pictures and I'm like, oh, well, I don't think I want to be friends with them. So then I don't send them a friend request. And I mean, that's sort of but we did, there was a conversation where I did have somebody that I friended and we were having a conversation from the like page and she sort of was psycho. Seriously, she freaked me out. So I ended the conversation and I unfriended her. So that was just a judgment call and she might have just been really needy and maybe I should have been helping her, but she sort of freaked me out. So I was thinking, Silence of the Lambs type of thing. But that's because I got a little freaky with that. So there is some ways that you can control that privacy and you just need to decide what works best for you. And that's why I do think a like page does come in handy because then that is completely public. I don't post pictures. I'm starting to get better. I don't post a lot of pictures of my kids on there. I will post a few in my profile pic or some of the things that I boost just to show that I'm more than just a fitness person, that I'm a mom, because I do think people relate to that. But you can select kind of how public you want those things to be. Does that help?
Yep.
Okay.
Misty, could you share briefly how you invite to the business opportunity, please?
Yeah, it's definitely something that I'm working on, but I need a lot. I'm working on it. It's a work in progress. I guess I sort of take the lead from Tanya a little bit. I kind of stalk people and watch what they say. Well, she's much more of a stalker than I am.
I'm the creepy Facebook stalker.
I kind of take note of what people are saying, some of the things that they post. So if I see somebody post something about needing extra income or, really what gets to me is needing, sometimes I see moms and you can just tell the tone of their voice or the tone of their posts are needing something more than just being a mom because I was that person. So I will start making conversations with that person. What I don't do is say, hey, I saw your post and you need to make extra money. Do you want to be a Beachbody coach and we could make millions of dollars together, right? I don't do that. I just find that person and start a conversation with them and start it that way. So that's probably a slower way to do it, but I feel like the relationships grow better that way, and I just kind of tune in onto friends of friends, what they're commenting on different posts, and then connect with somebody that way. That's kind of my MO at the moment.
Awesome, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody else? Oh, and we do have our coach preview, so you can always just invite people to that. And Misty runs that, and it's the third week of every month is when we typically try to run that. The other thing I was going to mention is Jessica and I. So Jessica is my sponsor. For those of you that don't know, we are actually going to do a webinar right after the first week of April, and I will get the information for that to you guys, but that will be another option for you to invite people to. And we both have different stories, so we will be sharing, how we got into it. Jesse's a former fitness personal trainer and nutritionist, and she's a mom too. And then I was the stay-at-home mom without, you know, who used to hate to work out. So we kind of got the best of both worlds there, and we'll be sharing, you know, what, you know, how this business has worked for us and how we've both been able to make over 6 figures in, you know, a very short amount of time while building this business from home. So that's another option that you guys will have, and I'll have all the details. We're just firming up the dates and everything for that, but I'll get you guys all those details. Is there any other questions? Anybody have any questions, or anybody have anything they want to add? What's working for them with in regards to inviting?
I did want to add one more thing.
Sure.
This is outside of, you know, being fortunate with my Facebook leads. I do think on the personal development side that it is very important to put out to the universe, or to whatever you believe in, your expectations and your intentions, and that the vibrations that you give off are those that will come back to you. So I don't know if anyone's familiar with the law of attraction, but that's that's how that works. So you know, I definitely do meditate, and I do project the intention that I have people who are willing to make a change or a shift in their lives to kind of enter my my circle, and they do. And that's kind of always been the way I've operated. So I don't know, it works for me. You guys.
I 100% agree with that. I actually, I personally started right in when I first started out the business, I was like, I don't know who, you know, I'm like inviting randomly. Now I actually have a list of like, you know, kind of my target customer, and I seek those people out. And personally, I do pray each morning for, you know, I pray for God to bring me the right people and to speak through my conversations with people. So, you know, I think you're absolutely right with the law of attraction, and, you know, knowing who you're wanting to help and who you can best help, and really seeking those people out there. And whether, you know, you're someone that prays or you put it out to the universe, I think you do definitely want to do that, because it will help. Anyone else? Anybody? All right, you guys. Well, thank you everybody for coming tonight. Again, I apologize for the little bit of the freak out that my daughter had at the beginning of the call. I swear I bribed them. It just didn't work this time. But I am really excited. Next week, we are going to have one of my fellow coaches on the call of that, and she is going to be going over how to do Facebook ads. She has developed a process, has been very successful. I've even tested her process, and it works. And she's going to be talking about it in detail next week on the call. So make sure that you schedule some time to get on that call, because you will not want to miss it, as I am sure you will have several questions for her. So anyway, everybody have a great night. Remember, you have until Wednesday at 8:59 p.m. Pacific time to lock in Emerald. So go get them, guys. Thanks.
Thank you, Tanya.
Thank you.
Hey, Tanya, I had a quick question for you.
Sure. 1 second here.